Welcome to the 2024 Economic Preparation and Depression Channel. I'm your host, Sean. Thank you for joining me on this May 20th edition here on Monday, 2024. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel for the latest interpretation of financial news as it becomes available. We thank you for your support and all of the love. Right now, we're looking at U.S. job growth totaling 175,000 in April. This is much less than expected, noted in this article by CNBC. And unemployment rises to 3.9%. Unofficially, unemployment is at around, I would say, 7.5 to 8%. And the job totals, but officially we have 3.9%. So we'll see that the job growth numbers are slowing down. As good news is we're still adding jobs. We're still on the positive side, plus 175,000. But that's below the estimate of 240,000 from the Dow Jones consensus. As you know, the stock market has reached 40,000 points. The Dow Jones, S&P 500, all in record territory as we get close to the end of May and toward the Memorial Day holiday, the first unofficial summer holiday that begins to kick off. But you can see that trends are continuing to lead. Of course, healthcare job creation, 56,000. Social assistance, transportation and warehousing, and retail continues to make an impact. So the good news is, hey, we're still chugging along here. Everything looks good. The bad news is that the rate cuts that is going to be expected is not coming until December or even next year by the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Now, there's a meeting coming out soon here next month, and we'll see what they do in the middle of June as far as rates. But they left rates unchanged, as you know, about 2 weeks ago with this economy here, the way it's going here. So you can see the numbers here. It dropped from March 2024 down to 175K. It was down 236K in February, and in January we started off the year with 256K adding jobs. So in this economy, so this is what we're continuing. Soaring debt and deficits causing worry among threats to the economy and markets. Listen, the United States and Western markets, UK, Canada, France, Mexico, Brazil, we're all in this debt cycle. That once we print a dollar, we create a dollar of debt. That's the cycle. And IOU, the federal IOU, is now at $34.5 trillion, and it's 11 trillion higher than we stood back in March 2020, which was the beginning of this pandemic era that we're now in, guys. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this debt will never go away. There's only two ways to get rid of it: either hyperinflate it, which we're going to see now, or either have a debt jubilee and cancel it, 7-year debt jubilee, or cancel this debt by some big entity, worldwide, because the debt is worldwide now at this point. And so this is going to continue to plague the people at Washington, D.C. How do they continue to print money yet continue to service the debt if the interest rates continue to rise or stay at the same level that they are? And you can see here, we continue to share a bigger part of this debt. The American people continues to share 116% of this debt by 2034, and that's when Social Security's going to supposedly be ending, bankrupt, or be severely cut back in 2034. But right now, you can see in 2020, we shared about 98.6 of that, and now we're up to 2024. We're up to 99% of that public debt as a percentage of the GDP. So we continue to see this here. This uncharted territory for most people in terms of debt and deficits. The American families are carrying debt, which is, the whole economy is carrying debt, which is okay. It's based on, we live in a debt-based economy. But what's not okay is when we have this high debt and high prices and stagflation, and we have no job growth, or little to no job growth in the high-paying sectors in the economy and the manufacturing sector. So that's going to hurt us in the long run. Now, there may not be a total crash, as people on these other channels have been saying, oh, it's going to be a Mad Max at the end of the world as we know it, or an SHTF situation. But it is going to be a slowdown. There's going to be a global slowdown. So people that are looking to go to other countries to live, they're going to experience high prices too, even in the third world countries, because this is going to be a worldwide slowdown this time, and not just a U.S. or U.K. or European slowdown, EU slowdown. This is going to be a worldwide slowdown. So whether you're in Australia, whether you're in China, Africa, Asia, the BRICS nations, everybody's going to experience a slowdown. It's just who fares it better, who comes out of it, better. CPI report shows inflation easing in April. Consumer prices rising 3.5% from a year ago, according to CNBC. As I said before, guys, this inflation is easing, but it's not going away. So we're going to have persistent inflation above 4, 5, 6%. And that's going to lead to people getting frustrated because the money is not going as far. The U.S. dollar is not going as far as it once was 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when we had the dominance of hegemony and all that kind of stuff. And you see the consumer price index, excluding food and energy, is still high, 3.4, 3.5%, 3.6%. And this is just the numbers that they give us here, but we know it's much higher here as we go to the stores and all these places. So the U.S. economy cooling. Inflation in the economy might be cooling off, but it's going to market watch. But lower interest rates are still farther away. Once again, this is just exactly what I was talking about. Interest rates going down to back to zero is never going back to zero, is never going back to 2%. That chances is over, especially with all this new construction at the U.S. All you see building in these states is what you see. You see new high-rise apartment complexes, condo complexes, car washes, new gas stations, right? But you never see jobs to help the local Americans economy. You never see jobs that, bringing back manufacturing jobs. You never see made in America jobs. You never see jobs that are white collar jobs that helping Americans outside of, government jobs. Or private contractor jobs. You never see white collar jobs helping Americans in nonprofits or in, other sectors, business sectors to help, the small businesses. We don't see that here. And this is with either party. We're not getting political. This is not with, Democrats or Republicans. We don't see that across the board here in America or in Europe or in Asia. Or in other countries that are part of the BRICS nations. You don't see that. So this signals a change in the economic times that we're in. And that thing to look out for too as we head into the summer is look at people's vacations. Those who do go on summer vacations, look at the destinations they're going to. I'm sure the media is going to be on that. They look at how much they're spending. Where are they spending? They're going to be tracking where are they spending this money at. Are they eating out more or less? I know McDonald's has gone up tremendously high. Too. Taco Bell has gone up high. Everything has gone up high. So the input costs have rise. The paycheck has not risen up to keep up with it, and that's one thing that we got to look out for this summer. So continue to prepare. I'll be back with you with more news later on today or tomorrow. Thank you for listening, and have a blessed day.